How are we, lads? ProEnzo, Vidz, MOXLEY. Alright, we're just walking in now for the King Dragons and the Bulldogs come back. The atmosphere! The crowd is electric! Ladies and gentlemen, here we bloody go. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast, episode number 87. I am pumped for tonight's show. I'm really pumped. A lot to talk about. And as always, we are joined by CJ MOXLEY, ProEnzo Vidz, and yours truly, Nick from Australia. Fellas, how the hell are we?
Yeah, no, I'm going well actually. It's been a big week of footy, so it's good to have a lot to talk about. And yeah, obviously this week's Indigenous round, so very special round to recognise, I guess, the culture and how it's all been led up to, I guess, the games this week. So yeah, came for a big podcast, lads.
I'm hyped. CJ, how are you, bro?
Yeah, look, good team, good life. Put it like that. I'm happy.
Welcome to Indigenous round. It's going to be a great round of footy. We're going to be doing the Indigenous preview for the round of footy just a little bit later on in the program tonight. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to this YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel of ProEnzo, Vidz, and CJ MOXLEY, make sure you go check out their channels. The link to their channels are in the description box down below. I'm excited. Episode 87. We're 13 episodes away from episode 100, which is going to be absolutely huge. Now, I should mention quickly as well, I'm not sure if we're doing the podcast next Wednesday. We might have to do it on Tuesday. In case nobody knows this, my birthday is next Wednesday. So I don't really know if we're going to be doing the podcast on the Wednesday or not. I will let you guys know. At this stage, we are doing the podcast on my birthday, but we'll see what happens. Hello to the live chat. We've got Luke Nolan Storm fan, SS Storm fan, Minty Rabbitoh, Jim the Chooks fan is here, Jason Reader. Hello. Josh Rabbitoh's 2023. Daniel Bate from the UK. Shout out to the UK supporters. Hope you're doing well. Paripi is here. Viking King. Who else is here? Damien from Newcastle. Hello to everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry if I miss anyone. The chat is going off at the moment. We got a John Robin, I think. Rishi. Sorry if I missed anyone. My computer's playing up and it's going to take forever to get up there. But hope you guys are all doing well on this Wednesday night, May 17, 2023. It is 7:06 p.m. And I don't know about you boys in Sydney, but it is fucking cold up here.
Oh, yeah, no, it's way too cold. Very cold here. Hello
to Christian and hello to Aaron Marnie as well. All right. Let's get underway with the podcast, fellas. We've got a little bit to talk about tonight. There's a lot of headlines, a lot of media talk going on at the moment. And we're going to start off with probably the biggest story of the week so far. Topic number 5. Anthony Griffin has been sacked by the Dragons, effective immediately. The Dragons have lost their coach. Anthony Griffin's been fired. He's been sacked immediately. The Dragons now have an interim coach for most likely the remainder of the season as the Dragons go onto the market to try and find a brand new head coach to try and rebuild that club and bring some success back to the Red V. Fellas, I think we all saw this coming. I was hoping it wouldn't happen to the end of the season. I think Anthony Griffin's done enough over his coaching career to last out the year, but the media and the talk was getting way too much, and they just kept losing too many close games, and they're getting flogged on the weekend by the Cowboys. So Griffin had to go, and it was bound to happen. But ProEnzo, Mate, what's your take on Hook getting the hook, and where do the Dragons go from here?
Well, it's funny because the name goes hand in hand. Hook gets the hook, like it goes hand in hand now. Like it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I think it was a fair call. It was a fair call to see Griffin get sacked. I know that it's never a nice thing to see, I guess, someone lose their job like that. But I think with Griffin though, it was just about going to happen anyway. Because I think he wasn't getting the results out of the players, or wasn't guiding the Dragons to the right sort of I guess direction. So I guess it was only time he got sacked. But I don't know. I don't think it's all his fault though. Like I do feel for Griffin in some way, because I think there was a lot of other factors in the club. Like the board is obviously just as bad, I feel like. But with the way Dragons are playing and how they've gone about their, I guess, approach to games, losing such tight games and whatever, it's just not good enough. So I think Griffin's the man to blame for that, and he can get his sacked is a fair call.
What about you, CJ? Ray, what's your take on Anthony Griffin getting the sack? Was it fair? Was it unfair?
Yep.
What's your opinion on this whole thing?
He's been a dead man walking since the start of the season. I mean, it was always going to happen. We all knew it was going to happen. We all said in our preseason predictions he'd be sacked by at least around the Magic Round area. It's not all his fault, obviously. He still does have that Paul McGregor type roster, and I think the board is to blame. But at the same time, it just didn't work out. His coaching tactics weren't working. They were competing in close games with clubs, but they just didn't get the results they wanted. And you have to get results. Doesn't matter if you're the coach or not. Look, he deserved to be sacked. I'll put it like that. He just wasn't the coach at the right time. I think he's a good coach. I really do. But I just think the players around him didn't really help. And he deserved to be sacked because he didn't get the results. And you can't have a losing streak and the coach there and not do anything about it.
Look, I must admit, I am really disappointed on how this has ended up. I think the way the media and the way social media has, dealt with this whole thing has been, in my opinion, purely disgusting. I'm not going to lie. I think some of the comments from the media, the NRL media, have been pretty pathetic and pretty out of line. I think a lot of the broadcasting shows, they always bring up the Anthony Griffin stuff.
360.
I think it's unfair that they talk about the Dragons all the time. They bash them. They criticize them. Do people not realize this was never Anthony Griffin's roster? I know he's had a little bit of time to get his roster together, but the salary cap's not easy to work with these days. All of this is not Griffin's fault. And I think some of the social media comments have been pretty disgusting. And you know what I think is even worse? The amount of people online, Dragon supporters, cheering and celebrating that he's got the sack. What, you're happy he lost his job? I mean, CJ's right. Anthony Griffin was definitely a dead man walking. We all knew he was probably going to get sacked before Origin. We all knew this was going to happen. But some of the Dragons fans on social media, doing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all these videos of laughing and dancing about how he's got the sack. Come on, give me a break. That's out of line. I think that's pathetic. I feel for Griffin. It's not his fault, but you know what they say. It's a business. It's a winning-driven business, and if you're not getting results, you're going to get the sack. But here's my argument, boys. Last year, I know it's a little bit irrelevant, but let's just go back to last year for a moment. The Dragons weren't horrible last season. They were fairly decent. They were one of those mid-table teams. They finished like 10th or 9th, I think. It was 10th or 11th.
Yeah.
They had 12 wins and 12 losses. Now, usually 12 wins and 12 losses would get you into 8th spot. Last year, it didn't. There were 2 wins out of the 8. And then going into this season, they've just had this vendetta against Anthony Griffin and the Dragons. So if Dragons make the top 8 last year, does Griffin get all this unfair media attention? Probably not, over.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
So I think it's a little bit harsh and a little bit unfair that Anthony Griffin has been targeted like this by the NRL media. Right, look, with the way the Dragons have been losing games, all this was going to happen. This was never his roster. Anthony Griffin, he come in there when Mary got the axe a couple of years ago, and it's taken a little bit of time to get the roster back in shape, but it's still a bit out of shape. Look, I know you guys had Dragons the wooden spoon at the start of the season, but you look at that roster. It isn't the worst roster in the comp by any means. It's just things aren't working, boys.
They can do more with it. Yeah,
definitely.
Look, their back line's okay, but their forward pack's disgusting in my opinion.
Oh, look, the forward pack definitely has a few issues. Like I think DeBellin's a great player. They've got a couple of mediocre forwards there, and Laurie, Mollo, Musgrove. Mediocre sort of forwards, not high class. That they haven't got like a Joseph Tarpanay or a Fisher Harris or an elite front rower that's going to help them. They've got some good back rows there, and Jaden Sewer and whatever, and Jack Burns' experience, but I see what you mean with their forwards. Right, well, with Griffin sacked, I hate saying this, boys, but I'll be surprised if he gets another NRL job somewhere, NRL coach, head coach.
He won't.
Not at this stage. I think.
I don't think.
I don't think he's a bad coach by any means. I'll say that because although how it ended at Penrith was ugly, he still was successful for that side, and he wasn't too bad at Brisbane from memory anyway.
No, he's mediocre at Brisbane, I think.
Yeah,
mediocre.
I don't think he'll get another coaching gig, but we can never say never.
Well, Anthony Seabold, we said the same thing about him, didn't we? And now he's back.
Yeah, he's ended up somewhere. I think it's just going to take a few years. Like with Seabold, he takes a year or two off, and Griffin might be back.
2 years away from the game. Well, now that Griffin's got the sack, boys, the Dragons need a brand new coach for next season to go forward. Who would you pick as the Dragons' next coach? ProEnzo Vidz?
There's a few options out there. Like obviously you've got Shane Flanagan, Ben Hornby, Jason Riles, and maybe Dean Young from the Cowboys. But I've got Jason Riles as their coach. I think he's the man to take them going forward. So I like to think that he'd be a head coach in one day in the future.
Yeah, no, fair enough. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I agree with ProEnzo, Jason Riles. It's all pointing towards him. He's been at the Dragons before. He's been under two systems that have won comps. And it just looks like it's going to happen. So, yeah, Jason Riles.
Yeah, Jason Riles is probably the favourite, and that's probably who I would go as well. Although there is someone that I do want to throw in the hat. Probably a long shot, but can you see Laurie Daly coming back to coach one day?
Nah, not with all the controversy going around.
I think there's an issue with that because I don't think the NRL likes his company he works with or something like the gambling company.
He won't be allowed back.
All right. Let me ask you this: if Laurie Daly quit at the job at the TAB and he wanted to be an NRL coach again, do you think he would work at the Dragons?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because he's never coached an actual NRL team before. It's very different to ref level. So
I don't know. I mean, here's a name that I would like to throw in there. I mean, he's coached New South Wales before. He's done a lot. He coached Canberra for a while as well. What about Brad Fittler? If New South Wales lose the Origin Series, what about Freddie? Could you see Freddie or even a Billy Slater to coach the Dragons?
Nah, not Billy Slater. I'm ruling that out automatically.
No. I think
Freddie's
Slater
a chance, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be Riles, Hornby, or Young. They're the three options.
I'd love to see Brad Fittler go back to NRL coaching at club level.
If you want to chuck in a wild card, you can go with the Cronulla Sharks assistant, Steve Price.
Yeah, Pricey. He was at the Dragons, wasn't he?
He got sacked
and Warrington, yeah.
Oh, what about there's someone I'm forgetting. Oh my God, assistant
John Morris.
Yeah, Johnny Morris. What about Johnny Morris?
Yeah,
he's a great assistant.
When John Morris was coaching Cronulla in his 2 years there, they made the finals both seasons, and then he was
strange to see him in Dragons gear, considering he's a Sharks legend. But
think about it. John Morris would actually be a good name, boys, because when he was coaching Cronulla for 2 years, they made the finals both seasons, and then he was sacked because they wanted Fitzgibbon. John Morris is a good name to throw in there.
Yeah, he is. I reckon he is too.
He's a good coach.
I'd either go with Jason Riles or John Morris. Any of them, I reckon, would be a good fit.
Yeah, fair call. Fair call.
All right, let's move on to topic number 4 now. And some news come out the other day. Obviously, Craig Bellamy has re-signed with the Melbourne Storm for another year to coach. Now, we all thought Bellamy was going to retire. And if you go back to the start of the season, I think it was on NRL 360 or it might have been on a different show on Fox Sports. Bellamy was going to retire at the end of this season and work in a different role at Melbourne. But apparently, Kevin Munster's had a few words to Bellyache and convinced him to go another year. Craig Bellamy re-signing with the Storm. Fellas, I'm not surprised. He is, one of the best coaches that I think we've all ever seen. How big is this for Melbourne to re-sign for another year?
It's huge to Melbourne. I think him staying at the Storm just gives them a bit more stability going forward. But I think it's just good news in general because he's done a lot for the Storm for many years now. And I think after winning comms, being minor premiers and being to World Club challenges and just, list of achievements that he's achieved at the Storm and as a coach, I think if he can go off one more year, then that's fair enough. Because I think he's still good enough. And, I think he's still worthy of coaching for even longer than next year. But, he can't go on forever, obviously. But, he can definitely coach for more than next year for sure. But it's good news.
What about you, CJ? What's your take on Craig Bellamy re-signing another year?
Well, he was certain to retire at the end of the year, so I do think next year is probably definitely his last. But knowing Bellamy, he'll probably sign for another year. I think for Melbourne, they got to have a succession plan like Wayne did with Jason Demetrio. But it's good for Melbourne. He's just chasing that one last premiership title that he thinks he can get this year or next year, and then he'll leave. But it's good for Melbourne because we all see how the players get around Craig, and he's a big influence on the team. He's their greatest ever coach. So, it's going to be good to see him go around another year because that's what they need.
Between Craig Bellamy and Wayne Bennett, it's very hard to split them. They've both had an incredible coaching career. Personally, I think I would probably go with Wayne because he's been in different clubs and had success and won premierships. But bugging me, Bellamy's done an incredible job at Melbourne. You know what? This might sound a bit crazy. If I was Bellamy, I would re-sign for another 5 years.
Look, he's good enough. So I wouldn't say
he could, but I don't know. He was on the verge of retiring.
He's been saying that for the last 3 years, though, and he keeps going another year. You know what? I'll tell you what. Re-sign Craig Bellamy for 3 more years, and by then, they should have someone under him in the assistant role ready to take over. Give him 3 more years at the Melbourne Storm.
Well, that's what I thought they were going to do with Jason Riles, but obviously that's not happening. Look, I think next year is his last, but I'm sure they have a succession plan ready for 25 anyway.
If Melbourne can win the premiership and then in the next 2 years, maybe he'll retire after that.
He's chasing that last title. That's what I think.
Going to a, what Gus does at the Bulldogs, maybe he'll go into a different role.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he'll do that. I really do.
Anyway, I think it's great for the game that Craig Bellamy has re-signed, and it was very weird last year when the NRL had a whole year without Wayne Bennett coaching. So it'd be very weird to see Bellamy not coaching in the NRL season. It'd be very weird. So
that's right.
Good on the Storm, and this is obviously going to make their premiership window stay open. As long as Craig Bellamy is still there, Melbourne will still be thereabouts for the premiership. So it's good for the Storm. Good for the Storm. All right. Topic number 3. Now, this was massive news the other day, boys. I couldn't believe it. France. They pulled out of hosting the Rugby League World Cup. Now, the 2025 Rugby League World Cup was meant to be in France. It's now unknown on where it will be. There's been a few places mentioned where it could be. It could go back to Australia. Could go to New Zealand. I don't think it'll be in England for the next one. It was just in England, so I doubt it'll be in England. There's been talk about having it in Samoa, Tonga, Papua New Guinea. Hell, someone even brought up even the USA. But ProEnzo Vidz, with France pulling out of the hosting for the World Cup, where would you like to see the World Cup go for 2025?
There's a lot of options, isn't there? I think there's a lot of places you can hold a World Cup. I saw something today that there was consideration about Qatar, but no, don't do that.
Oh,
No
for
way.
fuck's sake.
Not soccer.
Qatar does not work with NRL, so I think that's should stay
No
away from
way.
the league. But where I'd have it, this might sound very bold, but I'd have it in Samoa. I really would. I think I'd like to see it go somewhere out that way. I think it's an area full of rugby league fans, and obviously there's a lot of passion for not just Samoa, but just I guess the game in general. So I don't know what kind of stadiums they have over there, but it would be very nice just to see a different sort of landscape. I guess taking games, So I wouldn't mind Samoa. I'd do that.
I'm just having a look online if I have any stadiums in Samoa. I'm sure
They do.
would.
Yeah.
They played a union game over there a few weeks ago. I don't know what stadium looks like, but apparently it's
Okay, so Samoa does have a stadium, and apparently the capacity is only about 12,000.
Oh,
That's not good enough then.
It's
That
tough.
the turnout would be good if they had like a 50K capacity stadium, man.
Where would you have it, CJ? The Rugby League World Cup 2025.
I'm actually upset that it's not in France because I generally think France is the next rugby league country. Yeah, look, I'll be a bit boring here. I'll have it in New Zealand. I just think that they need something. Yeah, look, I know it's a bit boring, but I just feel like they deserve something. And I think why not bring the World Cup over? I can't remember the last time they had it in New Zealand. If someone can remind me, that'd be great. But I think it's been quite a bit, and I just think the fans will come out of all cultures and all support bases, and I just think it'd be a great thing for New Zealand to have International Rugby League at Mount Smart for a World Cup.
Mount Smart, Eden Park, they've got 2 grounds they can play at.
Yeah, Eden Park, Mount Smart, they've got a few grounds around there.
And they've got that other ground that the Tigers are playing at later this year. Is it Waka Tui Oval?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Apologies if I got that wrong. Boys, for me, bro, take it to New Zealand. I'm with you, CJ.
Yep.
Give New Zealand something after what they did after the pandemic. Give New Zealand something, for fuck's sake. They deserve a Rugby League World Cup. The NRL didn't give them a full season in New Zealand. They didn't give them a whole lot at all. Give New Zealand the 2025 Rugby League World Cup. I think it would be outstanding. They've got Eden Park. They've got Mount Smart. They've got that other ground. I don't want to pronounce it again because I probably fucking got it wrong. So apologies about that. They've got 3 grounds they can play at. I'll tell you this: if it happens if the World Cup comes back to Australia, I won't complain. I'll go to a lot of games. I will not complain.
Yeah, me neither.
If it comes back to Australia, I will go to a lot of games. But New Zealand deserve it, boys. I think it's their opportunity. I think New Zealand deserve their chance. And I'll tell you what, I'll throw another one out there. Apparently, Papua New Guinea have a huge stadium over in PNG.
Yeah,
I would not be against PNG, boys.
They played a few games there too, and it actually turned out really well.
And I'm pretty sure Papua New Guinea have the same time zone as Australia, pretty much.
Yeah, it actually, I wouldn't even care if it happened. I mean, I wouldn't even complain if it happened in Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea would be really cool. And I'll tell you what, you would win over so many more fans.
Yeah.
It'd be so much better. But look, I think New Zealand's the place to be. Go to New Zealand. You've got, places like, rugby unions trying to take over New Zealand, and the rugby are trying to take it back. If I had a Rugby World Cup in New Zealand, I think it would definitely affect rugby union, and it would be great for the game. It'd be great for rugby league.
Yeah,
yep. I'm upset that it's not in France because I really did think they were building something great for rugby league, but
yeah, I'm disappointed as well. Also, the other good thing about having it in New Zealand is, boys, the time zone for us would be bad. Perfect about.
Yeah, it would be.
Because you think about it, if there was a game in New Zealand at night time, the latest it would kick off is probably like 8 o'clock, 8:10. New Zealand time, which would be like 6 o'clock, 6:10 for us. Yeah. So the time zone would be outstanding for all of us to watch. So
Better be getting up at
come
4
on,
a.m.
have it in New Zealand. Have it in New Zealand, please.
Yep. New Zealand. It's better than getting up at 4 a.m. and watching a game. So.
But ProEnzo, what you said about Samoa, I think that would be very interesting.
Yeah, but I think just knowing to have no real stadium, it's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
if
tough.
I had a genuine stadium, I'd be all for Samoa.
Just quickly before we move on, let's talk about America.
No,
Can you see it working in America?
No,
Obviously,
don't do it.
bro, November's a terrible time to have anything on America for rugby league because you've
Fuck
got
off with
NBA,
this
you
American
got NFL.
shit.
I think it'd be terrible having it that time of year.
Yeah,
No.
don't do it.
Do they not have like the start of the NBA set up? They have something. They have sports.
NBA starts, NFL's on.
This whole
Yeah.
American expansion shit's pissing
Impossible.
me off. It's not going to
I'm not sure where the hell the fans are coming from.
Yeah, it's too much, I think.
All right. Topic number 2, and boys, big news today. Well, I read this around midday. The Brisbane Tigers have announced their bid for the 18th NRL team license. They want to be the 18th NRL team. The Brisbane Tigers. I've got 2 minor issues with that. Number 1, I don't think Brisbane would even be allowed. I don't even know if they'll be allowed to use that name.
They have like
And secondly, we've already got the Tigers. We don't need another Tigers. Brisbane Tigers. I mean, I appreciate them for trying to have another team in Queensland, but we've got 4 teams in Queensland now.
No.
We don't need any more in Queensland.
you already got 2 teams fighting over Brisbane. What's the point of a third?
We don't need another team in Queensland.
Seriously.
4's enough. ProEnzo, what's your take on this?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Look, when I saw it today, I was, I wouldn't mind having a laugh over that because I don't think having another Brisbane team is necessary. And yeah, like you said, that name wouldn't be allowed anyway because it has Tigers in it, and it's like nearly like your I guess transferring the actual West Tigers to Brisbane, like relocating them. So it's just, sounds so stupid, but yeah, it won't happen. I don't think. Definitely looking in a different direction, not Brisbane.
Yeah. I just want to say hello to the King in the live chat. Everyone bow down to the King in the live chat. We see him there. What's going on, Lufa? Thanks for tuning in as always, brother. Yeah, that's good. Jason Reader's acknowledging it. Great to see. Yeah, Brisbane Tigers. Look, I think they're a different franchise compared to like the NRL, so I'm pretty sure they can use the name. But Brisbane Tigers, they've already got teams in Queensland. We've got the Cowboys in North Queensland. We got the Broncos in Brisbane. We've got the Dolphins up in Redcliffe. We've got the Titans on the Gold Coast. We've already got 4 teams in Queensland. I know Sydney got 9 teams in New South Wales, but come on. We don't need another team in fucking Queensland. No. Just go to Perth like I've been asking for a while. As much as I want to see Central Coast get their own team, they're just gonna team up with Perth, and we'll have the Perth Bears. But we don't need another team in Brisbane. No way.
No, you don't. You already got the Dolphins and the Broncos doing that whole Brisbane thing. Why bring in a third?
Yeah.
I don't even know where the Brisbane Tigers play to start with. I've never even heard
Brisbane
of them.
Tigers somewhere.
There's no point bringing them in. Go to Western Australia or go to the Central Coast. That's the only 2 objectives of expansion I'll do. I'm not for it at all, and I'm not a fan one bit of the Brisbane Tigers.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it, boys? If they did come in, do you think they would change to the Firehawks, like a lot of people have been saying?
Yeah, they'll have to. They have to, won't they?
Oh, I don't know if they have to. I don't know the rules, but God, I just, yeah, no, it wouldn't work. We don't need another Queensland team.
No, we don't. We really don't.
I've been saying that for months. You either bring a team in from Perth or you try out another team in New Zealand.
Just do something, just not the Brisbane Tigers.
You know, I was critical of another team in New Zealand, but the more I think about it, it wouldn't even be a bad thing, would it?
Yeah, I'm all for that. I really am. The Orcas I went with.
The Wellington Orcas, isn't it?
Yeah, the Wellington Orcas. I'm very, very interested in.
Why are they called the Orcas? It sounds like shit.
I don't know. I think that's what they're called as because they're like a junior sort of side, I think, or some sort of reserve grade New Zealand team. So that's what they're.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
don't want
they
to
had
be
the
rude or disrespectful
Vulcans.
here, but the Orcas sound like shit.
I don't know. They could change it, but in general, I wouldn't mind a New Zealand team.
You might as well call them the fucking Wellington Krabby Patties or something. Fuck me. Orcas.
Whatever
Jeez.
happened to the Vulcans? Remember them?
The Vulcans. Oh, yes. I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah. Weren't they the Warriors feeder club or something?
Yeah, whatever happened to them?
I'm just reading in the live chat, guys, and Levi's brought up a really nice point. What about the Papua New Guinea Hunters, but have them based in Cairns?
Then are they a Papua New Guinea team?
But again, I don't know. I'm not.
Depends. It really depends.
I mean, I know Papua New Guinea have a shitload of money, and I know they want to have a team in the NRL. If they could have them based in an area, it would be quite cool. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be against it, I don't think.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
think there'll be a lot of homesickness though. That's just me.
I mean, if they're like the Warriors, where they're based in New Zealand, but they have players from Australia joining them or whatever, I think it'd work well. But who knows? Like I said, Perth or New Zealand are probably the two options, right, boys?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm sure as hell not going to Melbourne. I'm not going to Adelaide. Fuck that.
No, not another Victorian team. It doesn't work.
And Adelaide would suck. Another Canberra team? Oh, no, thank you.
Canberra team.
That's about
How does that even work? Yeah.
Topic number 1. Who should be the New South Wales jersey 14 for game number 1? Now, I just want to quickly state by saying, after the podcast is over, somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, I'm going to go live on YouTube again, and I'm going to be revealing my origin teams for game 1 for New South Wales and Queensland. So stay tuned for that later on. But ProEnzo Vidz, who should be the New South Wales jersey 14, the utility versatile player for the bench for game 1 for the Blues? Who would you pick?
Well, there's so many options out there. So I think you can pick like literally nearly any player that's from New South Wales. But who would I pick? I'd go with Nico Hines personally, and I'll explain why. I think while there's a lot of people saying that they want Hines at 5'8", and I can see why because of his form this year. But I think just what Freddie will do, and I think just hits a bit of stability until it's necessary to change the team. I think Luai stays at 5'8" for me. But I think you carry Hines either way. I think Hines deserves a spot in that 1 to 17. He can probably cover a lot of positions as well, like play fullback and in the halves. And you know what? He could even do a job in the centres, I feel like, if he had to have to play there. He's a big enough body. So I think he's the ideal 14 for the Blues.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. What about you, CJ? Who would you pick as jersey 14?
I haven't had time to think of it, but going straight off the bat, I'll probably go. I'll just put a name out the hat. Probably Apasai Coruscant. I mean, I know Damien Cook's an 80-minute hooker, but I think in State of Origin, you just got to have that backup hooker just in case. Because besides Damien Cook, what other hooker do we have in case he goes down? So I think, that's why I'd have him as my jersey 14. I'd also have Matt Burton as my jersey 14 because obviously he can cover multiple positions. It's tough, but if I'd have to pick out 2, I'd probably say Matt Burton, just because he can cover more positions, more versatile.
I'd go with Matt Burton from the Bulldogs, guys. Matt Burton.
Yeah.
I think Matt Burton's the perfect 14 for New South Wales. The old Burton bombs, we all know it's a signature weapon for New South Wales, and they can utilise that correctly when it comes on the field. It will be very fucking deadly for New South Wales. Burton's played Origin. He can play in the centres. He can play 5'8". He could play in the middle as well. He's a big body. He can defend his ass off. He could probably do the job of hooker as well if need be. I think Matt Burton is the perfect 14. Obviously, with Jack White retiring from rep footy, I think Matt Burton is the perfect choice for New South Wales jersey 14. I think Burton can genuinely play any position. He's a big body. The Burton bombs, defensively, usually pretty solid. And He hates Queensland's guts, boys. He's played a few games before, so I think Matt Burton's the perfect option. I really do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look, I would not
sounds
complain
right.
with that. I wouldn't complain with that at all.
Whether
Get
they
Matt
pick
Burton- get Matt
Coruscant,
Burton on the bench.
Hines, Burden, I'm happy with it. Just pick someone who'll do the job, please.
You guys will see my team later on tonight, but yeah, Matt Burton for me, Jersey 14, I reckon it's a perfect choice. All right, boys, it's time.
Fucking got sweep last week.
The Breakdown Podcast Game Show. Wowee. Now, if you missed last week, ProEnzo Vidz defeated CJ
Got
3-0.
Yeah.
And the
got
live
fucking
chat were
swept.
fucking filthy.
Oh well. What can you do?
A lot of people were upset last week. Just quickly, Jesus Christ, we got a donation out of nowhere.
Oh.
$14.99. Levi James, the super chat donation. Levi James says, up the motherfucking Cowboys. Book it in, Nick. Cows 2023 premiers. Levi,
No.
thank you very much for the $15 super chat. And yes, you can book it in. The Cowboys will win the premiership. And I will be on a fucking alcohol bender for about 69 days. Who knows?
You probably won't even remember they won it.
I won't stop drinking for about 2 weeks if we won the comp. So
You'll probably be thinking, why the fuck am I drunk?
thank you for the donation. All right, guys, everyone knows the answers. If you reveal the answers to the questions in the live chat, you will be banned for 5 minutes. You do it again, you'll be blocked instantly. So let me know who you reckon is going to win. Let's go to the odds via NickBet. We're going to have a look at the odds. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. CJ Moxley at ProEnzo's at $2. CJ,
Boys, I'm like, fuck right now.
A lot of pressure
To
on
be
me.
fair, I got swept last week. So
CJ, bro, you got $17 odds, bro. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, look, I'm at worse odds than Wakefield, mate. It's fucked. But you know what? It's fine because, hey, look, I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to find out, eh? I gotta keep
I'll tell you who I haven't heard from a while is Barbara, boys.
Yeah,
Barbara,
she's been.
yeah.
She I think she went on.
She does the odds at NickBet. She gives me the opinions, and from what I understand, CJ, she was very disappointed with you last week, getting beat 3-0.
Yeah, look, Barbara just went on a short holiday. Let's keep it like that.
Oh no!
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, what the fuck?
Hello, this is Nick from Australia speaking. It's Barbara, boys.
Oh, what?
Barbara, how are you? That's great to hear. What can I do for you? We're just live on air at the moment, so you're ringing at a pretty shit time. You want CJ to not be in the game show?
Oh, what the fuck?
Why not? All right, I'll tell you what, Barbara. I'll tell you what I'll do. If CJ gets beaten tonight, I will challenge ProEnzo Vidz next week. How about that? Is that a deal?
The stakes have been raised.
All right, listen here. No, you fucking don't you raise your tone, Barbara. You shut your cunt. You know who you're talking to? You're talking to Nick from Australia here, so shut your cunt.
Barbara, what the hell?
What did you say? She said she's going to cancel me. Listen here. Listen here, Barbara. I will cancel your fucking contract with NickBet and the Breakdown Podcast if you do not stop. You shut your cunt, Barbara. Anyway, we got a deal, okay? See you later, bitch. Right.
That's crazy.
If you don't win, CJ, you don't win. It's me and Lorenzo next week, so pressure's on.
Pressure is on now because Barbara,
Barbara's a fucking bitch, mate. I will fucking terminate her contract if she doesn't stop. I'm fucking sick of her.
Sounds like a hard one to deal with.
Bitchy Barbara.
Nothing more than a fucking Barbara Karen fucking carry on. All right. Let's go. First question. Boys, it's an origin question.
Righto.
All right. Last year, Origin, Game 3, where Queensland beat New South Wales. Who was the first try scorer in the second half?
Valentine Holmes?
Incorrect, Lorenzo.
Dane Gagai.
Incorrect. I'll give you a hint. They are a backline player.
Backline player.
Wait, Xavier Coates, did he even fucking play?
Playing the backs.
I can't even remember who the fuck played last year.
Xavier Coates is incorrect.
Jack White.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
Oh,
CJ.
so wait, I thought you said backline player for Queensland. Brian Tall?
Incorrect.
Tom Dearden.
Incorrect.
A backline player. Fuck me.
Do you want me to make it a bit easier for you?
Jane. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
They are a Queenslander in the back line from Game 3 last year.
I know, Gagai. I can't remember, bro.
Gagai is incorrect. ProEnzo.
Callum Honga.
Correct.
Fucking hell, man.
It was KP.
Luckily, I got that one.
ProEnzo was the 1-0 lead early on.
I remember that trying. Fuck's sake.
And the live chat is not going to be happy.
Oh,
All right.
Love, I embrace the hate anyway. I embrace it. Why not?
All right, fellas. The 2022 Rugby League World Cup was last year. The final was Australia versus Samoa. What was the final score?
26-12.
Incorrect.
34-18.
Incorrect. All right.
30 to 10. It was 30 to 10. I remember.
Oh, fuck me, you nailed it. I was about to give you a hint, but CJ just come out with the answer. Nice.
Oh, hurry up.
Hey, I might as well give up though, right? Viking King.
All right, next question. Fellas, in round 16 of the NRL this year, who did the West Tigers play that weekend?
In what round? Wait, what?
Round 16.
Fuck, me.
Saturday night, Campbelltown Tigers against who?
Raiders.
Raiders is incorrect.
The Eels?
Incorrect. ProEnzo.
Sharks.
Incorrect. CJ.
Tigers versus the Broncos.
Incorrect. ProEnzo.
Gold Coast.
Incorrect. CJ.
Saturday night at Campbelltown, round 16. The Tigers versus the Dolphins. Wait, what?
That is incorrect.
Melbourne.
And I unfortunately can't give it to you because Paddy G's put it in the live chat.
What, has he really?
Yeah, Paddy G, sorry, bro. 5-minute ban for you.
Oh, you fucking.
I hate Ben and Paddy, but he had to, you reveal the answers, you're gonna get you're getting the suspension.
Paddy G.
It's like last time.
Oh, Paddy, you fucking hell. I think you forgot how the game works.
Clearly has.
All right, let's go to the next question. Round 20 of the NRL. Round 20. The Dolphins play a game in Redcliffe on a Sunday afternoon. Who are their opponents?
The Cowboys.
Incorrect.
Penrith.
Oh, fuck, well done.
I just guessed that one. Jesus.
The Panthers.
Fuck, well done.
I just guessed
Nailed
that.
that. Yeah, Dolphins versus Panthers, July 16. That's Redcliffe.
That was a guess. Yeah, fuck.
The 4 o'clock game as well. It's a Channel 9 game. Wow. Righto. Next question. Right, fellas. In round 1 of the 2023 NRL season, what score did the Gold Coast Titans beat the West Tigers?
What round?
22-10. 22-10.
Oh, fuck. Well done.
Oh, too late.
Fucking hell. Well, we're going to the decider now. Winner take all.
The decider.
Winner take all.
The decider.
2 all.
I'm nervous.
Here we go.
2 all. Wow, what a finish. What a fucking finish. Right.
10. Fuck you, Tom.
Fellas, in round 25 of the 2023 NRL season, the Dragons play a Saturday night game out at Wollongong. Who are their opponents?
The Tigers.
Both incorrect.
Cowboys.
Incorrect. Lorenzo.
Sharks.
Incorrect. CJ.
Fucking Wollongong. Is it Parramatta?
Incorrect. Lorenzo.
Raiders.
Incorrect. CJ.
Melbourne Storm.
Correct.
Oh,
CJ wins.
there
Oh,
we go.
$17. I'll take it.
$17 odds. Holy cunt.
I knew the pressure was
CJ
on me.
wins.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
game.
The pressure was on me. No, but good game though.
What a
that was a
game.
good game. Fucking hell.
CJ
Funny,
with the dub. The live chat is about to explode.
Yeah, everyone's happy. Happy days for everyone. It seems like everyone loves it, don't they?
I don't know, man.
What a win. What a game. What a win. CJ gets the win. Well done. Look, everyone's coming for CJ. You got Lorenzo and going, what about me, you cunts?
Who knows? Who knows what I've done to them? Everyone's got personal vendetta against me. I don't get it.
I don't know either.
Oh, that's
All right.
good
Boys,
game.
let's get into the preview for the round of footy ahead.
Yep.
NRL round 12 preview, Indigenous round, one of the most important rounds of the NRL season. All right, let's go. We'll just go through it, boys, and you can let me know who will win, you know, whether it be 1 to 12 or 13 plus. Let us know. All right, Thursday night footy kicks off tomorrow night at Suncorp Stadium. We've got the Broncos versus the Panthers. Who do you like in this one, Lorenzo?
Broncos and the Panthers. I got Penrith 1 to 12, and
Okay.
Penrith 1 to 12.
All right, CJ.
Penrith by 10.
Yeah, Penrith 13 plus. I think Broncos are going to get hammered. No Reynolds. They're going to miss him. I think Panthers win 13 plus, boys.
Good.
Friday night, 6 o'clock from the Strata Jubilee, which is out at Cogra. Dragons and the Roosters, CJ.
I hate doing this. I'm praying the Dragons win, but Roosters by 8.
Yeah. ProEnzo.
Roosters 1 to 12.
I'm going to get the Dragons 1 to 12. I think every time a coach gets sacked, that team always gets up the following week. I'm going to go the Dragons 1 to 12.
That's right. I hope they get up. It'd be good to see.
Friday night, 8 o'clock, Allianz Stadium. Rabbitohs, Eels. CJ, we'll start with you because it's your team, bro. What do you reckon about this one? South and
I sound like a complete dickhead for saying this, but South by 24.
Oh,
come on, the boys.
13 plus. Wow. Lorenzo.
Yeah, hopefully South's 13 plus, and I'll tip that to happen. So South's 13 plus.
I'll go South 13 plus as well, but wouldn't be surprised if Parramatta got up for this. You know, this reminds me a bit of the Roosters Cowboys game. How Parramatta was how the Cowboys were desperate to win and they didn't win. Parramatta are in a very similar boat at the moment, so Parra might be a shot, but I'm going to go South 13 plus. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Coffs Harbour. We've got Cronulla versus Newcastle from Coffs Harbour. I wish I was. Look, I don't think I'm going unless I get tickets. But Sharks had nice at Coffs Harbour. ProEnzo.
Yeah, I reckon this will be closer than I think we all think. But I'll go Sharks here by, let's say, 4 points.
Yeah. Okay.
Sharks by 12.
I'm going Sharks 1 to 12. I think it'll be high scoring. If someone has a spare ticket for this game, let me know. More than happy to purchase it. I want to go to this game. But we'll see.
Be great.
All right, Saturday night, 5:30. Leichhardt Oval. This will be good. West Tigers versus the Cowboys. Allegedly the last game at Leichhardt, but we all know they'll be back there in 2 or 3 years. Tigers, Cowboys. Cowboys have got a pretty bad record down there, but we'll see what happens. CJ, Tigers and the Cowboys.
Cowboys by 8.
Yeah, I'll take it. ProEnzo, I saw your fucking tip the other day.
Yeah, I reckon Tigers 1 to 12, I reckon.
How could you? How could you do it?
I don't know, bro.
No, it's official. ProEnzo has something against the Cowboys. He never tips them. Nah.
What? Yes, I do.
He never
I
tipped
did
us.
last week. I did last week before. What?
It was against the Dragons. You didn't. The Roosters, you didn't tip us.
I tipped you against the Dragons. The Roosters, no, I didn't. But it's not
No,
all the time.
that's it. No. Paddy J in the chat. My next video: top 10 worst followers on the breakdown. He's upset that he got banned, but Paddy, bro, you should know the rules by now. Come on, man. Cowboys 1-12. I think we'll win. I think it'll be really close. Tigers will be up, but yeah, Cowboys to win, hopefully. Saturday night, 7:30. The two master coaches, Wayne versus Bellamy. Dolphins and Storm. This should be a good game, boys. ProEnzo, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, it'd be a tight one, I reckon, but I'll go Storm 1-12. I reckon, yeah, they'll just hang in there, I reckon.
CJ?
Yeah, so I guess my my specials of the round are Dolphins. Dolphins by 6.
I'm going Melbourne 1-12. I think it'll be really tight. Fins up, but unfortunately, I think it'll be Fins down here this week. Storm to win 1-12. Should be a good game. Sunday, 12 o'clock, Accor Stadium. Bulldogs versus Titans. Gold Coast record absolutely sucks at Accor Stadium. And the Fox is back.
Yep,
ProEnzo, do you like it?
I'll go over Titans 1-12. I think I just trust them a bit more.
Wow, okay. CJ?
Dogs by 4 points. The Fox will score a double.
I'm going the Bulldogs 13 plus. I reckon they'll have a really big win on Sunday. Addo Carr is back. And you know what? I reckon Addo Carr might score 4 tries on Sunday.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, it'd be fucking awesome to see, to be honest.
Addo Carr's going to get himself an Origin jersey. Bulldogs will win, and they will win by 13 plus. Dogs to win easy. Dogs to win. And the final game, Raiders and Manly.
Yeah, look, it's a bit a tough one for us, but you know what? I think I'll back us this time. Like, I know I haven't really been confident as of recent, but I think, you know, this one we could get up for because our record in Canberra is usually good, so I'll tip us 1-12.
Yeah.
Schuster and Gerbo's back, so that'll help. Sorry, Lorenz. Sorry, bro. Canberra by 14. Sorry. Hopefully he's get up, though. I'd prefer to see you win.
I hope so.
I am going Manly 1-12. I think with Jake back, I think he will fix up the defensive issues. Schuster back, I think he's in for a big game. I am going to go Manly 1-12. I think they can do it.
Hope so. I really hope so.
And watch out for Tommy Turbo. I thought last week against Cronulla, he was starting to look a bit like his former self. This might be the game where he just goes insane, man.
It's coming soon, I think.
So I'm going for Manly to win that one. A bit of an upset, but we'll see. Anything else on the podcast, boys? Before we go, anything you need to talk about? You want to anything at all?
Podcast, eh?
No, yeah, exactly. Good show, and I enjoyed it. Until the next one.
Bring on Indigenous.
It's been a fantastic podcast, fellas. Hopefully the Warriors don't get robbed by the bye. Hopefully the referees in that game are very fair.
Warriors
have been absolutely ripped off all season with the refereeing. So, like I said, there is a conspiracy against the Warriors. I believe there is. Hopefully they beat the bye this weekend. Hopefully Todd Smith's not refereeing.
Yeah, thank fuck he's been dropped, but yeah.
ProEnzo and CJ, thanks for another great show, boys.
Yeah, great show, thank you.
Bring on the next. Bring on Indigenous.
Great show, boys. Thank you to the live chat. Fantastic as always. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic Wednesday night. I'll be live again in about an hour, about 9 o'clock. I'm going to be revealing my Origin teams live on YouTube. So see you about 9 p.m. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to ProEnzo and CJ if you haven't already. As always, everyone, take care, and we'll see you guys in the next one.